Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our scheduled webinar today on NewHub 3.1 for Qlik. We'll have a short presentation here on what NewHub brings for you at all Qlik users and administrators. I want to start by thanking you for taking the time to be with us today. I'll be talking for a brief 45 minutes. I'll go over a brief presentation over what is NewHub, what it does on a Qlik server, and demo all features and things that you can configure here to achieve an improved UI and UX experience for your Qlik users. So to briefly introduce myself, Andres Ruiz. I work as the head of international business development here at Cluster. I've been here with the company close to 3 years now, and currently working out of Bogota in Colombia. About us, Cluster, we are a Qlik partner. We've been Qlik partners for about 7 years now, give or take. And we take a bit of a different approach than the standard or the usual Qlik partners. We don't work ETL side of things with Qlik. What we do is we focus on the UX and UI components. So trying to improve and successfully improving user flows and user experience when they use Qlik products. So NewHub in that sense is aimed exactly at that, at centralizing and Qlik content and bringing together a better UI UX experience for Qlik. So our agenda, 45 minutes in which we'll talk about, first I'll explain to you what NewHub is and what it solves in an enterprise environment. It can be a Qlik enterprise environment or a QAP server. I'll go briefly over what's new on version 3.1, meaning the latest iteration of the product that we launched in August of this year. How to install NewHub, actually. I'll run through a entire clean slate installation of NewHub. Some of you might not have this installed on your Qlik servers, so I'll run you on how to do this. Then fourthly, I'll show you how to customize the homepage on NewHub and why this is important for organizing Qlik content and differentiating between the standard Qlik streams and then what you would be calling your NewHub organizational structure via groups and subgroups. Then directly after that, we'll turn into what I see as the most interesting feature that NewHub has to offer, which is the ability to automatically turn native Qlik applications into branded mashups. Not only mashups, but branded mashups for that can be turned into a white label solution with NewHub. I'll also go over why this matters in terms of why this is going to be good for improving your user engagement with Qlik as a whole, and not just a visual upgrade for your Qlik. Then at the very end, then I'll go into what's coming for version 3.2 of NewHub in December of this year. I'll remind you that NewHub is actually a work in progress, always a live product that is always gaining new iterations, usually 2 per year. So actually this year we had 3. So version 3.2 in December is going to be the third one for 2021. And then we'll go over a bit of the commercial side on licensing and pricing. And at the end, with a bit of time, then we'll have a short Q&A session if time allows. All right. With that, then NewHub is actually born a little over 2 years ago. And it's been growing over several iterations of the product with customer feedback. So it's not just a one-time product that we just developed once and then it's there for eternity. No, this is a product that has been gaining features over the years with direct feedback from our clients. In fact, our first customer came from Israel in July of 2019. And since then, we've been actually gaining feedback from every single client that has been signing up for NewHub to feed into what NewHub is today. today. Starting from 2019 up to today, we have evolved into almost we're serving close to 10,000 users now as of today in pretty much all continents on the planet. The US, UK, Portugal, France, Australia, of course, Brazil. We're actually based in Brazil. So that's a bit of history about how NewHub came to what it is today. So I'll now, before jumping into the actual demo, a few slides on what NewHub is and what you can achieve with it. This is essentially a mashup that completely transforms the experience when interacting with Qlik panels. So what does that mean? That means that when you access NewHub's homepage, you'll have, depending on your how you configure the tool, you'll be able to gain access both on mobile phones and on desktops on different KPIs and metrics on the homepage that you want to see highlighted for any given reason and for different users as well. So this is a very interesting value proposition in that the landing page of Qlik for enterprise Qlik users can become a sort of a centralized access point for summarized data without having to go into each panel individually, but you'll have the most important metrics for your daily operations in one single glance at the homepage. One thing to note here also, the dashboard, the NewHub is actually ready for deployment on enterprise servers and QAP servers, and this is actually the only portal currently on the market that is ready for both solutions. What does this mean? It means you can aggregate both Qlik apps and mashups and display them side by side into one single centralized access point. With that, then there's also a very powerful way to create and aggregate content via groups and subgroups that are actually independent from the streams that you publish your apps to. So this is I'll go into detail here on the actual demo, but just the takeaway here is that you can separate the logic between what you actually publish on a stream, which is going to be the brains behind the who has access to what, and then groups and subgroups, which is going to determine visually for the end user, what are they going to be able to see on the screen or not. Then living on top of those streams that you have already configured on the QlikSense hub. And of course, nothing to worry about here. It's NewHub, as it lives inside the QlikSense server. It's going to maintain and respect all the security access restrictions and security rules that you have already in place for your environment. You'll see this live when we go into the actual demo. So a few screens on how a NewHub homepage could look like, fully configured. So this is the default landing page with the default color theme. It's a dark green color theme that we have created, and then it's also easily configurable to be like via CSS. It's going to be switched between one or the other color theme. Also, we'll go through that in a second. So just to give you an idea of how this actually can be set up as a white label solution for customers that don't necessarily want to show that they're using QlikSense in the background, but that this is actually a portal that takes leverage and sits on top of QlikSense, but then with a completely different visual and branding option that can go a long ways for certain customers. A bit on the menu and organizational structure here on how we organize groups and subgroups, and then the applications themselves and how they open inside the tool. We've done this a bit differently than what the standard QlikSense application is giving us out of the box with QlikSense. So I have here my my main menu already configured with a few groups and subgroups. They can be whatever you actually want and need for in your organization. That's going to depend on your business needs. So this gives you complete freedom to do this, and then to link apps or mashups that make sense for each specific group and subgroup. Then at the app level, you'll see that then we're actually rendering this as a mashup automatically. We'll see this in a few seconds, and then you'll see also that we've decided to give a different approach on how the filters and the filter options are actually displayed on the screen. So the filters remain the same as you would be expecting behavior-wise with QlikSense, but then we've just gone ahead and placed filters on as a detailed filter pane here if you want to give highlight to a few filters, and then an entire filter pane in which you can actually, it's going to be a lot easier to work with a QlikSense sheet. Likewise, a sheet menu here that lists all the sheets for this application. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets, and then also an ability to create groups within those sheets if it's there's clients, of course, that have the need to have hundreds of sheets listed, but then it makes sense to group them accordingly. This has also the ability then to display mashups inside NewHub. So this is a mashup now, custom mashup embedded inside NewHub. A few options here on a few slides here, sorry, on now the actual brains behind NewHub, which is it's actually a combination between two mashups. the mashup that is going to be presented on the front end for the QlikSense users to navigate and see and consume their data analytics, and then the second mashup, which is the administration panel, the CMS behind NewHub. And this is actually a restricted panel, only intended to be used by root admin roles within the QlikSense server, and where we'll see all the magic happening, where we'll start configuring all apps that are listed on the QlikSense server, all mashups, custom links if you want to create custom links, and all the configurations that we'll be seeing in the live demo. There's a few a few pages here to be configured. These are all optional things that you can enable or disable depending on your preferences, on what you want the actual final end users to see. And then a key feature here is the ability to create custom CSS and upload custom logos to create white label or your own branded solution for on the white label platform. So with that, let's go and see what's new actually on NewHub version 3.1. So I'll be presenting now. Let's go over to our live demo, the meat of the presentation here. I'll just refresh here just to make sure that I'm still logged in into our environment. So our demo environment, this is sitting inside our QlikSense Enterprise demo server, that we have. And this is a demo already configured for showcasing. Two things that are new on NewHub 3.1 is this part here, our ability to add filters, favorites for each user. So what does this do? Basically, if you want to create a shortcut for yourself of a dashboard that you actually need inside, that you need quick access to, you can go into the application itself, and on this item here, just pin it and create a CRM dashboard pin, and I'll pin it inside the actual favorites board. I already had two of them listed there, so it's pretty straightforward. So these favorites are going to be available for your user only. If user B logs in, he's going to be looking at another list of favorites if he needs to, or if he doesn't have it, he can totally go or make a way without it. There's also the possibility, if you don't want to give this option for them at all, to simply from the admin panel completely remove the capability of adding favorites for your users. Then the other new thing that came up here with NewHub is the ability to rearrange and drag and drop your cards here. So your your homepage cards. So if, for example, you specifically have a need for the CIO dashboard and the procurement dashboard, and you need to give highlighted attention to those two objects, you can come here and drag and drop them on top so that you can always see them on top just for your user. And then also it gives you the ability to not only give that rearranging capability, but also the ability here to resize them, right, as you see fit. So I want this to be completely at the top. I'll I'll give them some more space here. And then if I'm happy, like I'm happy with the way this looks now, I'm gonna save it. This means then that NewHub is going to save this configuration once I log in only for my user. Then user A is going to see this configuration once he enters the applications on the homepage. And user B is still going to be looking at the default look and feel that we had at the beginning. I am going to reset it back to default, and this will then give me back what we had at the beginning. So, in my opinion, pretty useful, pretty neat for giving users a bit more control over what they see once they and define what's important for them, instead of it all being centralized on the NewHub administration role. With that, then let's move on a bit to what NewHub actually, how to install it and what that means. So I'm not gonna do this on the demo server. I'm gonna do that on our actual dev server. So the first thing we need to have is a copy of the zip file, the actual extension. It's an extension that we're gonna import into the QMC. So I'll download a fresh copy of NewHub from the product's website. Remember, this is always free to download. You're always going to get the full version. It's free up to 5 users. So you can install it, download it, install it, and you'll have it. You just on the download form, just ask for a few details so that we can contact you later for in case you want to sign up with NewHub. So give you also a follow up on installation and how you were able to install it. So once that's done, your NewHub admin zip file is already there in your hard drive, ready for importing. So I'll go now to the extensions folder here on the QMC and choose my newly downloaded admin file, right? Simply open it and import. Might take a few seconds, but then voila, once that's imported, then we will open up the URL, the direct extension URL for it. It's actually called your server URL, and then extensions/newhubadmin/index.html. Once you go on your browser on this here, you'll see the installation page, right? So you may hit install. Once you hit install, NewHub is going to download and install the actual NewHub package, and it's going to start configuring and creating a few custom properties that NewHub is going to need to read and write content between NewHub and your QMC. Again, it might take a little bit for it to download the actual NewHub. It always takes a bit of time. Just so for you to know what's happening here in the background is NewHub is fetching a copy of the other extension, the NewHub extension, also placing it, installing it inside the Qlik server, and it's creating a number of custom properties and content libraries for the NewHub CMS, the content admin, to work. Okay, so now it's done. NewHub admin is installed, and NewHub itself should also be working, but it's not configured. So what does this mean? It's going to be, once I go into the actual NewHub, which is this URL here, not the NewHub admin, but NewHub, it's going to load the front end that your QlikSense users are going to see. And of course, no application is configured to be displayed here. This means we need to start configuring NewHub to populate content inside the actual NewHub portal. So this NewHub admin has a few items here. I'll go one by one, explaining what it does. So this configuration tab, it has a few some important information as your token. This identifies your NewHub installation with us, so that we can give a good tracking for you for both for service and to allocate also users depending on the contracting options that we have. There's also an option to change the alias, so that means changing the name, the NewHub name. You can name it whatever you want. You can name it VI Portal if you want to. There's also options here depending on where you're located in the world. You can have it in English. It comes as default in English, or you can have different languages here to translate automatically your NewHub. Currently, actually, we have it translated into Russian, and there's also a work in progress to get it displayed into Hebrew, also with a right to left reading option capability for right to left languages. With that, then the customization tab, I'll glance quickly over it. This is where you can configure customizations on the way the NewHub here is going to be looking and behaving for your end users. The most important one is the ability to change the CSS themes here. And then what I'm going to be focusing on now is the content tab, which is going to be the most the center of your administration panel here. This is where you can link all apps that are listed and published on your QlikSense server and mashups. And then at the same time, you can also then create third-party links to be embedded inside NewHub. So let's start configuring our first app. For example, there's a one here called CIO dashboard, but then notice that I don't have any groups to link it to. So I need to create the first group. I'm going to call it information design with an icon here. Let's put a clock. Good. So I created my first group, and now I can link this application to the information design group. Once I refresh NewHub, actually, I'm gonna start seeing that it behaves like a fully configured NewHub installation. And here we go. We already start seeing the main menu already being populated with my first application being already pulled into NewHub. Notice that now this is going to open my application as a standard QlikSense application. Nothing new here, just the good old QlikSense being QlikSense, right? And then next, what we can do is we'll ask this app to be shown on the homepage. It's a simple click on the show on homepage tab here. Then this will then once we refresh the NewHub, it will bring that application as a there we go. It's just a bit slow, my server today, but okay. I can change the colors, display colors for it, if for them to match the actual theme. And I also want to be able to generate or create a few objects in there that are going to be pulling data from the app, but without opening the app itself. So if I refresh the homepage for NewHub, I'll start seeing that first application already being displayed as a card here on the homepage. There we go. Yes, and you can open it also from here. But it still looks a little bit empty. So let's go ahead and place a few items in here. So this is listing all the actual QlikSense objects that are present in that application, and then I can go and create a drag and drop via drag and drop capabilities. I can see, okay, I want that object to be displayed, and for that matter, probably another one just for good measure. Perfect. So a pie chart object, let's give it some height for it to be a bit larger, and the same for the bar chart that we have here. It gives me also a preview here of how that would look like on the QlikSense. Sorry, on the NewHub. Once I reload, I'm gonna have the objects on the home page, and voila, I have two objects there. But notice that it's a bit the colors are not great, and then I can actually then there's two ways to get around this. It's either by customizing the actual QlikSense theme to a QlikSense CSS theme that actually fits well with the darker background, or we can, another option would be to change the CSS theme for the actual NewHub itself, right? So I'm gonna leave it as a white background now. I'll refresh, and this is already starting to look a bit more like the demo that we have configured already on the other server. So with that in mind, then I'll jump over to the actual fully configured demo. This takes some time to configure all your apps and all your mashups, to go through the content and see which one you want to actually display on a homepage and give a highlight to. But then good thing is we already have a demo pre-configured for that. So we'll switch to that at this point. And voila, our same CIO dashboard with those two objects that we had here, but then also with another color palette already more in line with the overall look and feel of this installation of NewHub. And this is actually done via the actual QlikSense themes, so object themes that are going to be managing what type of color these objects are going to be displaying with, right? So with that, let's go and start playing a bit with this demo and showing you how an application actually looks like with the automatic mashup generator that we have created for NewHub. So I'll open this application here, and you'll see a very different look and feel to what you're used to with the standard Qlik Sense in mind, right? So this is what this is essentially doing. It's NewHub is reading, it's taking the app ID and it's then re-rendering that application, that Qlik Sense application that's already installed, the procurement application, this one here. Let's see, let's show only the items that are listed on NewHub, and let's go to procurement. So it's taking this application and re-rendering it automatically as a mashup. So it's reading every single object, and then via JavaScript, we then calculate on the screen where and how those objects should be displayed. This gives us then also the possibility and the capability to rearrange the way these objects are rendered on mobile phones as well. I'll give a brief overview as to how this would look like on a mobile phone and how that actually renders inside a mobile phone. Then the filter panes, it's no longer giving a new actual window for the filter. We're just show and hide the filter panes here, where you can create your filtering options and then navigate in between the sheets inside this application, also from within one single component, right? So improved UX, improved look and feel. This makes a lot of sense for people on the go and people who need access to data on their on real time on their phones, while at the same time creating an environment that is fully available and scalable for desktop applications, right? So the filtering options here, for example, I'll go into the a bit of how this is all rendered on the screen, and this is on the cluster app column here on the NewHub admin, in which then I can now here read, write, and configure. First of all, if I want it to be displayed as a mashup or not. If I want to be able to allow my user to export data to PDF or Excel. So that's also an optional thing that you can do here. You can rename your sheets, contracts, if you are going to be displaying it to other languages. You can do that, or if you want to create different names for whatever reason, that's the option there. And the ability to create sheet groups is also here. It's quite powerful when you have an application with a long list of sheets. So let's create a group for sales. So I want to start segregating content only for my sales teams, in which then I'll start grouping content that is only related to sales, contracts, and spending, probably not spending, but payments, right? And then once I save this, the actual menu here is going to change in that to reflect that new subgroup configuration for the application, in which I have a sales group and those two apps that I configured to be displayed inside there. So with that, then there's you can hide or show items on the menu. If you want to hide a sheet, it won't show up anymore. And the filters, the way you can configure them or not configure them is this is quite powerful in that if you once you save your filters as master items on your base application, then NewHub is going to identify this as filters that that NewHub can work with for to be displayed here. So then I can then pick and choose which ones I actually want to be displayed. I'm gonna simplify it a bit, my filter pane, and just create three filters that are going to be displayed here on the actual filter pane, and then only 2 filters showing as the main filters. So on the main bar allocated for those filters here. I'll save it and refresh, and you'll see there's only going to be 2 filters applying as main filters, and then 3 on the main dashboard. So all filters, 3 filters to be as configured, and then 2 filters for the main panel itself, right? With that, I'll leave. I'll give I think we're short on time at the moment, so there is going to be one final surprise here for you. NewHub can be configured to have any look and feel that you want and see see fit. So there's an ability here to customize the CSS itself for something that fits your specific needs at your company, and it comes with a CSS editor completely embedded inside the NewHub. So I'm gonna apply it, save it, and this is going to be now coming as a synthwave themed synthwave themed NewHub. Of course, this wouldn't work in real life, but just to show you what the options and capabilities here are with NewHub in your Qlik environment. So we've gone through a bunch of content here: how to install NewHub, how to customize the homepage. We've seen how to turn your native Qlik applications automatically into mashups. And then I want to now briefly go into what's into the future with our futuristic theme at the same time. So for December 2021, we want to have a visual CSS editor. That means giving the ability to the administrator to we've identified that not everyone is versed with CSS, so we're turning this CSS editor into something more intuitive, and that the editor can the admin can actually come in and edit CSS with more ease, not without having to code the actual CSS, and create this type of look and feel with a more intuitive approach. And then this is going to be a very important update is that the apps and sheets will be able to be accessed from the main menu. So instead of having to access an application and opening that application, to be able to access that apps menu here, we're going to be there's going to be some restructuring here behind the scenes for NewHub, in that we will be bringing the sheet menu, the sheet level menu in NewHub, into the main menu here. So you'll be able to see once you open I'll open, took me out of the CIO dashboard application. But once you enter this app, and you see the main menu here, you'll be able to see already the sheets that you have configured for that application as a sub menu inside that application without having to load the application at first. So that's the future. That's NewHub 3.2. A bit of commercial information here. Pricing models. We commercialize NewHub on a per user per month basis, and it's you can sign up for it either yearly or multi-yearly, and it's gonna depend on pricing is gonna depend on your volume of users. The license, once you sign up for NewHub, it entitles you to be installing NewHub on 2 environments, development and production. And it includes, of course, support, first level, second level, and third level support, and a guarantee of compatibility for new releases of Qlik Sense. And of course, I already mentioned at the beginning, the product is updated at least 2 times per year. So this is going to be an ongoing progress for development with NewHub. So with that, I want to thank you and then open up the floor for questions. There is a Allerdings question here. So when you create a new mashup based on an existing app, do you have a pagination option within that mashup? If you have a lot of content that want to be, yes. So I think we went through that over the demo. So it's you can actually then create that. And if you can change the default grid and the placement of the objects, yes, as we saw on the demo. I think then we're out of time and 46 minutes. I want to thank you all for joining us, and I hope this was quite useful for you. Thank you so much, and see you next time.